What's happening YouTube? It's Andrew here with Table Talk, and today I'm breaking down my top 5 trick-taking games, recommending them based on what type of games you like, starting with my number 1. My number 1 is if you like asymmetry and deeper strategy, deeper thinking in games, there is actually a trick-taking game out there for you. If you like heavier strategy games or even asymmetric games like Root, then Trick Takers is the game for you. In this game, you are playing like a classic trick-taking game where you're gonna be following suits, trying to win certain numbers of tricks, but this is all gonna be dependent on the asymmetric role that you pick. And all of those asymmetric roles give you different abilities and even different win conditions. So there's an overall win condition and also win condition for your specific role. And I love this game because it adds so much deeper strategy depending on what role you have, what role other people at the table have, and that can completely change the game to game. So if you like asymmetric roles, deeper thinking, check out my number 1 of my top 5 trick-taking games, Trick Takers. 2 of my top 5 is if you like those classic trick-taking games. I'm talking about hearts, spades, rook, euchre, and all of these are seen in the DNA of Rebel Princess Deluxe Edition from Bezier Games. In this game, it takes the DNA of hearts, where you are following suit and trying not to win hearts or a specific suit, and instead it brings you the theme of princesses rebelling against norms, trying to avoid marriage proposal from princes, especially the frog prince. So those are gonna be the suits you don't want to win. And how Rebel Princess differentiates itself from those classic games is it adds new conditions each round based on these round effect cards. It affects how many cards you pass around and where. It also affects maybe some condition of that round. And also each person has individual player powers that they can use once per round based on those classic princesses. And so I love this because Hearts is my classic favorite trick-taking game, and it makes it even better with those different round effects, those different player powers, giving more strategy and variety to those classic trick-taking games. So if you like those classic games, check out Rebel Princess Deluxe Edition from Bezier Games. Next recommendation is if you like solo games. I don't, but if you do, there is none better than For Northwood. This has you taking on the role of someone trying to rally these animal troops in this cool anthropomorphic animal world that looks like, I don't even know, like a preschool TV show, but it's actually a pretty thinky strategy game because you are going to be playing just yourself, trying to raise troops with these different faction leaders, but each faction leader needs you taking certain numbers of tricks depending on the suits, and they even, when you win them, give you different powers, and you can even adjust the difficulty so that it's a different experience every time because you have different faction leaders who want you to win different amounts of tricks, different times, giving you different powers, and able to do that, making this a really deep, thinky, but fun trick-taking experience for just one player. That is For Northwood, my number 3. Number 4 recommended of my top 5 trick-taking games is if you like chaos and smack talk. And if that's the case, I would recommend Skull King from Grandpa Beck Games. In Skull King, it takes that trick-taking mechanic and adds a gambling and a push your luck and a betting element where each round, based on the hand that you get, you're gonna bet how many tricks you actually think you can win. And you can always go for more if you bet more tricks or if you bet 0, but 0 is a bigger gamble because you can also lose more. And in addition to this, there are also these different power cards like Pirates and Mermaids and the Kraken that can absolutely throw chaos into any round. And because of that, I love Skull King, and also because of the scoring system, it can lead to big swings of people making awesome comebacks or absolutely destroying their competitors. In addition to that betting element, if you get a bad hand, you can just bet low, or you can risk it if you need a lot of points, and that's what makes Skull King such a various but fun but chaotic experience. Skull King, my number 4. And my fifth of my top 5 trick-taking games is if you like cooperative games. And if you do and you like trick-taking, you've probably already heard of this one of the most popular trick-taking games, The Crew Mission Deep Sea. And this takes that trick-taking mechanic but makes it cooperative, where you're going to be working as a set of different divers trying to accomplish specific missions based on objective cards you get. And I love this experience because instead of competing against one another, you're trying to work together, but you can only communicate in a very limited way, which leads to a lot of tension, a lot of thinking very strategically about what cards you're gonna play each time because you're thinking of these various objectives versus some classic trick-taking games where it almost feels like the decisions are on autopilot. A lot of times you know what to play, but in The Crew, you're really thinking, well, yes, I can play any of these cards, but which one do I need to play based on the objectives I need to accomplish later on and based on my teammates' objectives right now? And that's what makes The Crew Mission Deep Sea such a great cooperative trick-taking experience. So, if you guys are looking for a great trick-taking game, look no further than For Northwood for solo, Rebel Princess Deluxe if you like those classic trick-takers, Skull King if you like chaos and interaction. If you like asymmetry and deeper strategy, look at Trick Takers. And if you like cooperative games, check out The Crew Mission Deep Sea. Thank you guys so much for watching. Always appreciate when you guys do. And I'm going to catch you guys on the flip side.